Good morning to all the tourism operators in the Southern Halfveld. Many of you know who I am. My name is Athol Stark. I'm the ex-chairman, but now Chief Coordinating Officer of an organization for tourism which is called Halfveld Tourism in Mpumalanga. It's a regional tourism organization. Over the next few weeks, we are going to be doing short videos where we are going to try to assist businesses to reprioritize the way that they think and the way that they operate in terms of business, so that you are able to understand how complicated it is to overcome some of the problems that we are going to be experiencing over the next 6 months and what we've already experienced over the last 2. It is vitally important that the tourism industry understand that we are the hardest knocked industry in South Africa with the current COVID-19 pandemic. The tourism industry is probably going to be the last portion of the industry or business in South Africa that is going to be reopened. We are a high-risk industry because we are direct contact in terms of our rooms, our accommodation, our restaurants, and because we also come into direct contact with our guests. And the biggest problem is, of course, the fact that our staff are in direct contact with things like bedding, baths, showers, and the cleaning of rooms, surfaces, and so on. So in these short videos that we're going to be doing, we are going to try to assist the tourism industry to understand how to actually go about reprioritizing your relationship with money, because that's going to become your biggest problem over the next while. In South Africa, we have a very unique situation because of the BEE relationship with government. So we have to find other ways of doing businesses. And it is of importance for all of you to understand that when I say to you, you've got to reprioritize the way that you operate. You cannot any longer sit and wait for business to arrive at your guest house, because the chances are for the next 6 months, even if you have a permit, you are potentially not going to have business arriving at your guest house. Now, it is of importance that we understand that we have a rather unique situation where more than 60%, in some cases, some towns, 70, even 80% of the guests that come to our guest house are from an industrial background. From business, they are reps, they are tradesmen, they work for big parastatals like Eskom, Transnet, and so on. This is going to assist us in some way to ensure that we are able to make this transition through this period of time in a quicker and an easier way. But if you are not getting business, the question is, how are you going to be able to survive down the line? Many of you, before you became tourism operators, before you opened up your homes or you built beautiful resorts and guest houses and lodges, you came from another industry. So we are going to be asking all of you to reprioritize and go back and look at what your basket of skills are in terms of business. Because the chances are, if you want to keep your tourism business, you are going to have to find another way of doing business, another way of bringing finances into your homes, into your bank accounts, if you want your business to actually survive. The key thing is that many people in the Southern Mpumalanga have already done this transition. Some, luckily, years ago, where they reprioritized what they were involved in and in actual fact opened up businesses across the board, different types of businesses. And I'm thinking specifically at this point in time of a small town of Volksrust, where one person in that town, Mr. Kevin Kaiser, has become probably a shining example to what I'm going to be talking about over the next few days. He has been able to take business and open up many different types of businesses, from hardware shops to steel businesses to guest houses to newspapers. I don't even think I know all the businesses that he's involved in. He is a shining example to what we say, diversify your business. There are other people that live in these areas. People like Arne Steinberg from Chrissy's Mere that has done wonderful things. The minute she knew that the lockdown was coming, Anay already had, I believe it was 16 people. She had permits. She already had these people working at her guest house, making masks and selling masks. These are people also that have wedding facilities. They have been doing vegetables in the background, fruit, amazing numbers of things out in the background. I'm an example of that because we have 6 businesses that we run. All of them are now in trouble because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we also have had to find other ways of doing business. And then I look at people like Garth Carlitz, who's one of our leaders in the tourism industry from Secunda. Garth has got lots of different businesses that he's running in the background. He has creches, he has guest houses, he runs vending machines, lots of different things in the background. So we are going to try in some way to assist all of you to overcome your barriers to diversifying your business. The only thing that we are going to ask you is that you listen to these videos and you do the best that you can with them. And the nice thing about sending a video is you can re-listen to these videos again and again and again. Something of key importance in this time for every single person out there, you need to pray. You need to ask God for wisdom. You need to ask God for understanding. You need to be able to get down on your knees and you need to pray. If nothing else, this country needs prayer at this point in time. We are sitting in a very severe situation. Not all the decisions that have been taken by government at the moment are the right decisions, and we are going to be the hardest hit industry in South Africa. So it is up to us and people like myself to ensure that we find ways to assist you to overcome the problems that you are encountering at this point in time. The guarantee that you'll come, that I will give you from my side, is that I will be here in this journey with you. We are going to be asking you for communication. There's going to come a time when we are going to be doing audits of which guest houses are going to stay open, which guest houses are going to close. The key thing to understand is that this group, the Highveld Tourism Group, is not there as a group to complain. I can't assist you with your complaints. I can assist you with your help. Now, what I do notice with a lot of people is that you are asking me for information outside of the group. You're welcome to ask on the group. And as far as possible, don't place junk videos and junk messages onto the group, because that's not what this is all about. This is here to try and assist people in a positive way to get answers for what they're doing, first of all. And the second thing, obviously, is to answer their questions. If you have real, genuine concerns, please feel free to give me a call personally within normal business operating hours, and we will do the best that we can. I'd like to talk just briefly about the short videos that we've sent out. The videos we are doing at our costs at the moment. It's approximately 2,500 Rand per video that we are producing. But behind the scenes, our organization has been, and us personally, have been assisting tourists that have got stuck. I don't want to go into all the details. It's come at an astronomical cost of 72,000 Rand already that we've paid out to try and assist people wherever we'll not be able to recoup most of those losses. So there will come a time. Our next video is going to be quite a big one. It's going to be 2 or 3 minutes. The longer the graphic designer has to work on these videos, the more it costs. So the cost up to now is about 2,600 on each of the short videos we produced already. The next one is going to be in the region of about 6,000 Rand. I'm quite happy to foot the bill, but I'm going to, at some stage, come and ask you for a very small contribution towards that. And the secret on this thing is the reaction that we are getting in the background from the tourists, the tour agencies, and so on. And what many of you don't know is that I have had training from the Swiss government in how to run organizations, how to run the tourism industry. I was very lucky, if you think of it, but it did cost us a lot of money, 30, sometimes 35, 40,000 Rand a year to be part of that system, where a group called SIPO, Swiss Import Product Promotions Organization, was taking people like myself outside of the country and going to Switzerland, going to Germany, going to Austria, every single day, traveling around, seeing large groups of travel agents. And there was a time that the growth was the biggest growth in the tourism industry in South Africa. It was the next biggest thing. Unfortunately, we haven't got government on board. That is a known fact. It's not a secret. We have suffered quite severely at the hands of people that have been a bit irrational about white people like myself that are involved in tourism. So what? We know what the tourism industry is about. The secret is that our videos have captured the imagination of these tourists overseas. And they've captured it to such an extent that we're getting a wonderful positive reaction. And we do believe that once this is all over and people's finances have come back again, that we're going to have a wonderful rebirth of the tourism industry in this area. So my message to you today is listen to these videos and re-listen to them again and again. Stay safe. Continue to sanitize your hands and pray. And then most important is that we need to work together in this time. This is a wonderful industry if you take the time and the effort to work together. Thank you so much for listening. I trust that this just an introduction video is something that'll be fantastic for the future. And remember that if you really have genuine concerns, you're welcome to give me a call. That as a volunteer leader, that is just part of the entire system, is to assist people so that they can find ways to overcome their personal problems. God bless you, and we'll be talking again shortly.